Can you imagine the government running healthcare? Can you imagine the government determining prices and wages? Because that's where she is. She shows a little ankle every now and then. She doesn't believe in this, the Constitution. She doesn't believe in 3 branches of government, separation of powers, delineated, limited powers for the federal government. The rest of the powers belong to, under the 10th Amendment, the states, and then we, the people, under the 9th Amendment, which reflects the principles of the Declaration of Independence. We retain our own free will and our own independence. 60 Minutes, well, they decided to significantly edit part of the interview, and I don't blame this guy Whitaker, who actually did an excellent interview. These are the producers, the executives, the big mahafs over at CBS. Gone are the days of William Paley and a real news network. They literally edited her response to questions about the economy, questions about Israel, because she's so dumb. She's so incapable of having a clear thought that's not memorized, or making a clear, coherent, literate sentence that they covered for her. Go.
60 Minutes has been blasted after eagle-eyed viewers exposed the program for editing out Kamala Harris's word salad reply to a question about the war in the Middle East. The journalist asked why it seemed like Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't listening to the United States when it came to the war, and Kamala Harris offered up this lengthy word salad of an answer.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
The answer was aired by CBS as a teaser for the interview on Sunday night's Face the Nation program, but was replaced with a completely different sentence from earlier in the interview for Monday night's 60 Minutes program, and also for the show's YouTube channel.
It seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Now stop there. You understand, by editing, I don't mean they cleaned up what she said. They asked the question again so she could answer it better. That's what happened there. Have you ever heard of a news organization doing such a thing? Again, I don't blame this guy Whitaker, who did a pretty good job. He did much better than ABC, the CBS moderators, much better than CNN, much better than anybody I've seen. I know nothing about the gentleman, but I have no reason to question him. But the top brass at CBS 60 Minutes gave her a second shot to answer the question. I've never seen anything like this. This is supposed to be a news magazine program. I don't believe they would have done that with Morley Safer or Mike Wallace, Chris Wallace maybe, Mike Wallace, no way, and the others and so forth. Go ahead.
Viewers of 60 Minutes and commentators reacted immediately, blasting the edit on X. This commentator said 60 Minutes cut Kamala's nonsense answer on Israel and replaced it with a completely separate sentence she said earlier in the interview. Mixing and matching questions and answers. This isn't journalism, it's fraud. This commentator said 60 Minutes removed Kamala's word salad in the latest version. 1984 is here. The Trump campaign launched on the strange edit with Donald Trump's National Press Secretary, Caroline Leavitt, releasing a statement that said, on Sunday, 60 Minutes teased Kamala's highly anticipated sit-down interview with one of her worst word salads to date, which received significant criticism on social media. During the full interview on Monday evening, the word salad was deceptively edited to lessen Kamala's idiotic response. Why did 60 Minutes choose not to air Kamala's full word salad, and what else did they choose not to air? The American people deserve the full unedited transcript from Kamala's sit-down interview. We call upon 60 Minutes and CBS to release it. What do they and Kamala have to hide?
You know, when you think about it, I feel like we're dealing with a 5th grader with this woman. I really do. What does it say, student government election in some elementary school? Everybody's bending over backwards in the media in Hollywood, in academia, in her party, to try and find ways to smooth over the absolute imbecility that is this woman. Just like they did with Biden. Now remember, 3 months ago, she was the worst vice president in American history. So they've been trying as best they can to recreate her. They bring out Oprah, they bring out Obama, they bring this one and they bring that one and so forth and so on. The same people who lied about Biden, who covered up his dementia, although we all saw it, but could no longer cover it up, and then changed our electoral system to give us Kamala Harris. They're the same people now who are active in and out of government, in and out of the Democrat Party, in and out of the campaign, who've created this caricature, this fiction, this woman as something she is not. She is not qualified to serve as President of the United States at any level and in any way. Not by experience, not by intelligence, not by wisdom. She likes to talk about bipartisanship, and she'll bring the two parties together. She was the most polarizing figure in the United States Senate, and I include Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and Schumer. She never participated in any bipartisan legislation. And as vice president, really not even for a full years, the Senate would have these tie votes. She broke more tie votes as the tie vote breaker than any vice president in American history. For the most radical kinds of legislation, Bidenomics, she was the breaker of the tie vote. The phony Inflation Reduction Act, which was the Inflation Production Act, she was the tie vote. Not a single Republican supported it. And I can go right down the list. She was the tie vote. When she says she wants to get rid of fracking, she's going to get rid of fracking. And it'll be too late if she's elected President of the United States. When she says she wants national health care, like they have in Canada and Britain, because they're so healthy they're trying to run into the United States to get serious procedures done. Imagine a national DMV that handles our medical care. They can't even do what they're supposed to do now. Secure the damn border. Show us that you can do something. But no, they can't keep the streets safe. On the contrary, they're bringing into the country Venezuelan gang members, killers, rapists. They can't even do what they're supposed to do. They can't run a balanced budget. They're destroying the currency. Interest on the debt is bigger than the defense budget. The defense budget is being slashed in the face of potential war with communist China. They can't even handle what's under them. She doesn't even want to be read into programs about what exists. Can you imagine the government running health care? Can you imagine the government determining prices and wages? Because that's where she is. She shows a little ankle every now and then. She doesn't believe in this, the Constitution. She doesn't believe in 3 branches of government, separation of powers, delineated, limited powers for the federal government. The rest of the powers belong to, under the 10th Amendment, the states, and then we, the people, under the 9th Amendment, which reflects the principles of the Declaration of Independence. We retain our own free will and our own independence. She never talks about liberty. She never talks about the Constitution unless she's accusing Trump of trying to destroy it. I don't know. Trump was president 4 years. Constitution was fine. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, you have to decide if you want to put up with this. I just hope, I pray that everybody listening to this program, watching it, will contact a bunch of people, will make it their business, your business, because time's running out. Don't keep watching the polls. Don't let hosts and commentators persuade you. It's interesting to listen to them. But nothing replaces you using your contacts, your family, friendships, your colleagues to make a difference in this country. So I'm trying, as best as I know how, imperfectly, to get you to help save the country. I'll see you next time on Levin TV.